So I noticed you're on. It was like an hour ago. But I wanted to at least say hi. I'm currently online. I'm going through various YouTube videos and just watching them real quickly. Some of them is music, and then some of them has to do with market and how the coronavirus affects things, which I understand because, for example, World War One, it was a major game changer, or the war to end all the war to end all wars, or the Great War. So whichever one you want to call it. So there's that one. So yeah, so like World War One, it changed things. It changed the economy. Along with that, like women, from what I understand, were like stayed at home and they wore dresses mainly and such, and guys worked from the house, and we would probably still be wearing mostly that fashion where females wear dresses and such. Technology, I can't say would really improve or really have changed a whole lot, but because of just the First World War, like women started wearing pants because they were a lot more comfortable for work. They ended up having to go to work. Men were being sent off to the war. Great technological advances, like in flying, we got planes, and planes became a huge necessity. And then World War II, from what I understand through Star Trek, oddly enough, one of the Star Trek original episodes was where James T. Kirk and his crew arrive at this planet, and it's basically a dictatorship. And they're like, okay, what happened? And they find out that one of their comrades, or one of the people from Earth, ended up going to this planet, and he basically brought them into a war. And they're like, why would he do this? And they're like, well, the reason why they did this was because, like, Germany, they went into because of World War One, they financially just crashed, and then they ended up going back into, or creating another war, getting into dictatorship and everything, so that they could be financially and economically better, basically. Not financially, but economically better. And so because of that, it brought their whole planet, I guess, out of ruin. And I was like, that's really interesting. So I learned that from Star Trek. I'm guessing that's true because, like, bits and pieces of fiction, or from what I've noticed, are based on something that is factual. So, for example, House, from what I understand, I could be totally wrong on this, but from what I understand, it's actually based upon real life, like sicknesses, illnesses. So, like, these people might have all these symptoms of this particular illness, but then in the movie, or in the show House, like, it's showing where they do, like, figure out everything, or like figure out what's wrong based upon all these kinds of symptoms. There we go. Now remember to bring that inside. It's the hood. That. So yeah, they do all that based upon just a bunch of symptoms that keep popping up. And so they give them medicine that doesn't improve things, so they make things worse. And then they give them more medicine or something else in order to try and figure out what is wrong with this person. So that's what I found just by watching these various shows. White Collar, the first few seasons are actually based upon somewhat to real life. And then they mentioned about this particular artist, writer, and I looked online to see if the writer actually existed. No, they did not. It's in season 3, and I was like, no! Like, how could you do this to me, White Collar? Like, it was really, really enjoyable. Like, just picking up, like, Fashion Week, from what I understand, wasn't that popular. And then White Collar, it mentioned about Fashion Week, and Fashion Week itself, like, in the real world, exploded because of White Collar, or possibly because of other shows, but also because of White Collar. I was like, that's really cool, because Fashion Week is actually mainly known in, like, the fashion world, and most people are not in the fashion world. Like, we don't everyone does not model, everyone doesn't create various clothes or clothing lines. So yeah, so I mentioned that because like the coronavirus, I imagine will change things, and according to these various economists, like the coronavirus is also drastically going to change things. For example, I said the Black Plague lasted for a couple hundred years, and it changed things. Millions of people died, which was a horrible thing, but because of that, people started traveling in order to trade and to build wealth. And so instead of just having like the king and like people stuck in their social classes, like things changed for the better in order to for like the economy to thrive and for business like people to live. And so it's like, okay, that's really cool. And so this is like some of the stuff that I'm watching, or like occasional video, not too many, not all of them, that I'm watching. I'm like, okay, this is interesting because millions of people are dying. Well, no, take that back. I think around 300 million people have died. Through 4 or 5, I think 3, 4 million people have actually caught COVID-19. So, like, but because of all of this, we're trying to prevent, Black Plague from happening, millions of people from actually dying. But because of this, the entire world economy is more than likely going to change drastically. And so, in this case, like, if things had continued on the way that they were going, like, economies would be not still, but stay the way kind of what they were. But because of this, I'm wondering how things will change. I'm hoping for the better, because World War One, World War Two, it was bad, but things changed for the better technology wise. Black Plague, horrible, like millions of people died, but things changed like economically for the better. People were actually able to be like, oh wow, I can actually improve and learn. Education really exploded, things like that. So it's like, this is kind of exciting. I mean, like, COVID-19 is bad, but it's kind of exciting just being part of an event in which things are changing. And again, hopefully for the better. And if it ends up being for the worse, then darn it. No, no, it's no. So yeah, like for example, Nancy Pelosi, I believe she mentioned that basically she wants things to turn digitally, or like where money is there's money transaction instead of by dollars, through like, I guess, credit card or debit card mainly. And someone was like, watch out, it's coming now. I'm like, I don't get it. But we've been on that line, we've been on that road for so long. But the next mark, pun, not meaning or not intended, is basically where eventually it's like, okay, well, it's all digital. Well, how can we make it more convenient? Well, we can always put a chip in the forehead or in the right hand. And then it's like, oh, wow, this is, yeah, that's why I say hopefully it'll change for the better instead of for the worse. Anyways, this video is already 8 minutes long. I hope that you're doing well. I'm glad that I was able to catch you while you're online, or that you were able to catch me, because I definitely enjoy being on when you're on. I do enjoy it. And just in regards to what the future will bring. So hopefully I will talk to you soon. And I'm excited to actually talk. I'm actually excited to talk to you through Facebook Messenger or through Marco Polo, Instagram, or any other way that you choose, through like direct, instant communication. And then hopefully my dad won't be upset about me uploading long videos. So tomorrow I'll go ahead, and whenever I wake up, I'll just post like 30-second long videos or so, minute long videos. And then that way my dad can still enjoy his shows and not call customer support. So yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Love you. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about. So yeah, bye. Love you.